been a starter her whole career, not just here in Chicago. Corner look, corner make over the weekend against the Aces. And Gardner now 5 points and 2 for 2. Here's Cloud once again. Who says she's not a three-point shooter? She's got 4.
Bounce back. Parker a 3. How's that for an answer from the Rook? Z cutting high on the catch. Over to Alaman. Right back Z. Straight away. Thought about the 3. Puts it on the deck. The runner, a thing of beauty. Azare Stevens now with the dub. 8 on the shot clock. Plum with 4. Throws it up over Van.
And remember, this is a Sky team as Cat hits the much-needed 3. AT spinning. Just created space and scores.
Yeah, she got Kia Nurse right out of there. And
Calmly finds Sabali. Satu hard to the deck and scores! Phoenix with the lead! Since the first.
What's up, y'all? This is JG, always on topics. Thank you for being on my channel. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all, let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? I'm late. I'm like a few games late, but let's talk about Chicago Sky. So, you know, after they suffered the first loss against the Fever, you know, they suffered, another loss to New York Liberty, which is 99-74. They lost to the Sparks, 92-78. And, you know, they improved a bit against the Mercury, but fell short 5 points against them, 94-89. So, what was the issues with those games, and why were they losing? I'll tell you why. Not enough involving your main scorers. You know, Cardoso wasn't getting the ball like promised. You know, she wasn't involved in the offense like she's supposed to do, but at the same time, Cardoso was playing soft. I don't know if she was more about having fun out there, or, you know, she just couldn't, like, get it done. She just can't get the job done. And, you know, you got people, you know, talking about, hey, maybe she need to be on the bench. And I don't think her being on the bench would have been better. I just think Cardoso needed to like, you know, get a spark. The thing is, when you don't give Camilo the ball, she ain't going to have no spark, and she's not going to be useful throughout the whole game because she's not being involved in the offense. She's not, you know, using her, you know, getting an opportunity to use her 6'7" height, you know, to go in that basket. So if she's not being used enough, she's most likely not going to be useful at all. And, you know, she got to, you know, get that ball to get going. Another thing about Cardoso, you know, at 6'7", she got to look at those rebounds. Reese, who's 6'3", should not be grabbing more rebounds more than her. If anyone was to get a double-double a game, it should be Camilo Cardoso. I'm not saying Reese is not capable of doing it, because Reese is, you know, a master of what she does. She began double-doubles in high school, and now it's no stat pattern, it's nothing new. But the thing is, Camilo don't have the energy and the motor like Reese does, and that's like an issue for her. And you know what I'm saying, and it's kind of give people all kinds of concerns about her, whether she can be a big factor of this team or not. So they have to, you know, help her, you know, work on that height, you know, help her get those rebounds a lot more, because she got the height, you know, she can do more than block shots. But, you know what I'm saying, she just got to, like, be more tough and more aggressive. You know, don't get me wrong, Brittany Griner, who's 6'9", 6'10", she hardly get rebounds. I don't know what it is. If, you know, Camilo got clumsy, she don't got those good hands either. I think she gonna have that strength in her hands, and that makes it easy for people that's shorter than her to tip that ball out of her hand. So every time she grabs it, somebody slaps it out of her hand, and that needs to be worked on. Ariel Atkins was not getting the ball a lot. You know, 3 for 6, scoring 5, 6 to 8 points a game, that's what results of those losses. That's not gonna cut it. She's the best scorer on this team. You know what I'm saying? She's supposed to be the one replacing Kennedy Carter. And it's people. And Tyler Marsh was making her look like, you know, she's useless and we should have kept Kennedy Carter. You know what I'm saying? But Ariel Atkins is actually more useful than Kennedy because she can play both sides of the ball. She can play offense and defense. You know, she just wasn't getting her number called enough. And it was kind of like, that was also the main issue. So, by the game against Phoenix, when they involved her in the ball more, things started to run smoothly. And I noticed some other few things. The rotations were improved, were a little more better than Marsh made in the first 3 games. Now the 4th game, Marsh still did a bad job rotating. He was just doing a little better. He was starting to fix it a bit. You know, so Tyler Marsh had me worried about him at first, and I feel like he was not going to be the right coach for this team, and you know, we will want hear his resignation real soon. But I think he's starting to see the weaknesses and the strengths, the pros and the cons of the team, and he's starting to like fix it up a bit, because those games he was doing, I don't know what he was doing. You know, Ariel not getting the ball, not, you know, allowing her to show what she can do. He's letting Vandersloot play all these minutes, and she's like 3 years away from turning 40. You know, she's too old to be playing that much minutes. She's not energized, and she doesn't have those legs like that like she used to when she was young. Kia Nurse, she is not a starter. I'm just gonna say, when I saw how weak she played at the Sparks, I was worried. You know what I'm saying? I was worried that Chicago was going to get a little weaker, because Nurse didn't play that. She played okay, but it wasn't enough to make her that upgrade for the Sky. And those games, you see why she's missing these 3-pointers. Her defense is bad. She keeps letting people blow past her. You know what I'm saying? Being clumsy on her passes. You know, making some turnovers that shouldn't have happened. It was just making the whole thing. It was just throwing the whole team off. Rebecca Allen, she comes off the bench. She's hitting her threes. She's going in for lift. She's going strong. Nurse wasn't doing much of that, and that makes us, you know, feel like Rebecca Allen should be in the starting lineup instead of Kia Nurse. And you know, she played okay, you know, down the road, but still not enough to convince me that she should stay in the starting lineup. Rachel Banham. Why is she getting all these minutes? I don't know why. But Marsh is making a huge mistake letting her play all this time. Now, 5 or 8 minutes for Banham is cool. It's fine with me. But having her play 20 minutes, like starter minutes, that's unacceptable. And then he has her playing point guard. Are you kidding me? I'd rather have Angel Reese playing point guard than Rachel Banham. She is not a good passer. You know, she's not a good defender. She can barely shoot the 3-ball. You know, I didn't really much hear about Rachel Banham until she hit those 8 3-pointers that one game. When she was playing against some team, I forgot what it was. On Connecticut, when she was with Connecticut, she hit. Oh, it was against the Phoenix Mercury. She hit 8 3-pointers against them, and they felt like she was that person they was looking for when they traded her from Mabry. Big mistake on their part as well. You know, Mojo has not been playing. You know, Haley Van Lien, she started to play and she started to show what she can do. Maddie Westbrook needs some minutes. She needs to, you know, Marsh need to try her out. You know, keep putting her on the court to see what she can do. You know what I'm saying? Just wasting people that they're drafting. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna, you know, keep them on the bench. It's not gonna make them better. I'm just gonna say that right now. So, you know, a lot of stuff has got to be fixed with the Sky. I think they have the ability to be good in the future. I think they're gonna, you know, fix it, turn it around. You know, it's just not right now. It's just not looking like they can. They look like a very weak team. They look like a team that's gonna win like 8 games. So, yeah. I'm going to need Tyler Marsh to fix things up. You know what I'm saying? Jeff P. I'm not gonna blame all this on Tyler. I'm gonna blame this on him, Jeff Pagliosha, because he the one that brought this roster. When he could have had brought Dejanay Carrington, he could have had Alyssa Smith. He could have had some. He could have tried to get. He could have Brittany Sykes, Slim. He could have tried to get her. He could have brought her and Ariel Atkins here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mind Vandersloot, but Vandersloot off the bench. But Vandersloot has been playing well lately, so I like that. So, yeah, things have to get fixed if the Skywarriors should make the playoffs. I really see them going to the playoffs so far. Not gonna, lose hope because everything is looking promising. Angel Reese, I saved her for last. Angel Reese is gonna be fine. Angel Reese is this is her second year in the league. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not expecting her to be Superwoman right now. It would be nice for her to put more points on her stats with the rebounds she grabs. She got the motor. She got the energy. Her defense is well. She's been playing good defense and she's passing the ball a lot better. She's getting the assists. You know what I'm saying? I've been noticing she playing on the perimeter a bit too much. I think I prefer to see her more in the paint because she's very useful grabbing those rebounds. And when Marsh rotates her with E-Will, they play a lot well. Not saying that she plays, she doesn't play well with Camilla because she does play well with Camilla, but it looks like, it looks better when Angel Reese is out there with E-Will. Not to mention her and Atkins are the next duo because it was supposed to be Barbie and Kim, but now it's Barbie and Atkins, Angel and Ariel. I'm liking that duo right there. So that's gonna help contribute in the season. I need E-Will and Michaela Onuwari. I forgot to add her too. She was not looking good at first. She was not missing some easy shots. She was not playing good defense at all. She was just weak herself. Just some disappointment on basketball. So the rotations, putting the right players out there, putting the chemistry on the court is what Marsh need to start doing if these Chicago Sky's issues are wished to come to an end. And that's going to be the only way to solve this little issue, solve this matter. But that's all I have in this on this rant. I wish the Sky a hopeful season. Hopefully Angel Reese get her scoring down. She has to get her stronger in the paint. She's still undersized. She's still kind of weak, But I think she'll, fix it when the season comes, in the middle of the season arrives. But this is JG Always on Topics saying, peace out.